And we welcome you to this football game here at Christ Field at Beamsburg Stadium in Millersville, Pennsylvania. I am Ben Shad. I'll be your color commentary for today. I'm joined here with, excuse me. I'm joined here with my good partner TJ. How are you doing today, TJ?
I'm good, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing all right. In for a very exciting game. Some will call it even a rivalry. Millersville and Kutztown. What
Yeah.
can we expect to see today?
Well, this is the first weekend of PSAC East Division play, and Millersville has a 1-2 record, and Kutztown is 0-3. So it's going to be a battle all day long. They look very similar when you look at their stats. I mean, points per game, Millersville averages 17.3, and Kutztown averages 20.7. Rushing yards, Millersville is way behind. Millersville only averages 65 rushing yards, where to Kutztown's 185. Passing yards, Millersville again is behind. But what we lack in offense, we make up for in defense. And I think that Marauder defense is going to be able to hold Kutztown to a lower number of yards than they're used to.
Yep, both these teams have been struggling with the start of the season. Millersville opened up their season with a win against Pace at home, 28-7, and then a week later a loss to Seton Hill, 24-38, and then last week was a very ugly loss at California, shut out 61-0. Although their opponents today haven't fared any much better. Kutztown's last three games, they went to Assumption to start off their season, lost 21-45. Were home against Mercyhurst, lost 19-23, and then last week faced the powerhouse Seton Hill and lost 22-44. So a tale of two teams still struggling to find their footing at the beginning of this season. Who do you think will be coming out on top tonight?
It's going to be close. It's going to be a hard-fought game. Honestly, if I had to pick a team, I would have to say the Marauders. But that's only based on the old saying, defense wins you championships. And the Marauder defense, if you watched against Seton Hill, they played a much bigger team. The Griffins were a much bigger team against the Marauders. However, they fought hard, and they were in that game up until the very end when Seton Hill put up 2 unanswered touchdowns.
All right.
But up until the fourth quarter, Millersville hung with them. And Kutztown is not the biggest team either, so that should play into Millersville's hand. And there's the kickoff, and he fields it. He's going to run it out, and there's the 20. He gets to the 25, and he's tackled at about the 25-yard line.
It's really a chance for either team to really make a statement here, if you will, just to say, it may have been a rough start, but now we're ready. Now that we've knocked off the rust, we're ready to go for this season.
Yeah, we're into week 4 now, and both teams really need to, if they want a shot at playoffs, they're going to need to put a few wins together in a row here. And Millersville appears to be lining up with a 4-man front, and that is Terrence Scanlon with the snap. Oh, and a behind the line of scrimmage catch by, Nathan Hollander. He just had nowhere to go. That Marauder defense was all over him. Like we said before the game actually started, this Marauder defense is very good. They've played bigger opponents than them, and that's the problem.
2nd and 6 now.
Craig Reynolds on the carry there, but he was pushed out of bounds. I believe he got a few yards.
Looks to be about 3rd and 1.
I believe it is 3rd and 1. I think you're right, Ben.
Let's see.
The Marauders really need to hold strong here. And there's the snap. Oh, gets the carry, and I believe he got the first down.
Yep.
Reynolds again with the carry. Jaleel Robinson for Millersville came in on the tackle, and he got lucky. The Marauders got lucky because that could have been a very dangerous run.
Kutztown looks like they're playing some small ball right now, just
They are.
trying to feel out what the defense is going to be up against them.
Yeah, they're trying to feel out this Marauder defense. And there's a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and he's getting some good blocks. Tackled it around the 40.
It was a bit high, but we were just saying small ball, and then now all of a sudden.
Well, that play, there was just a little screen pass, and he picked up some mega yards for Kutztown there. That was a good play by the Golden Bears. And there's Reynolds again. And I believe that's a Kutztown touchdown. And the Golden Bears strike first with 13:26 left in the first quarter. It is 6-0 Golden Bears.
It's a very, very quick attack from Kutztown right there. It didn't really, even what seemed like small plays, they just seemed to walk right through the Marauder defense. That's going to have to change if Millersville wants to win this game.
Those last two plays, the Marauders just didn't look ready for. They weren't ready for the short pass, and then they just gave the ball to Reynolds again. And Reynolds, he's only had one drive, but that first drive has just been a great drive for them. I believe somebody got a hand on that, but that kick went through.
It looked like it was number 20.
Oh, they said
PJ
no
Santos.
That is a no-good extra point attempt. Somebody must have gotten enough of a hand on it to knock it away.
I think it was PJ Santos broke through the line, and I saw him get pretty close. I
believe you're right. I believe it was Santos.
Angles
there.
can be deceiving around here. I thought it made it through. But we just talked about how the Marauder defense was going to have to be the squad that shows up today, and that defense wins games. But if the defense is going to be performing like this, and the offense has been rather lackluster recently.
I agree with you there. However, Phil Overton and J.J. Page are both having very good seasons, and you can't leave out Kevin Wiggins. Mm-hmm. He has 14 receptions for 146 yards already and a receiving touchdown, and he's averaging almost 50 yards a game himself. So Millersville has the players to contend. They just need to use them more effectively. Page is a very good quarterback. He really is. However, he needs to allow himself to roll back in the pocket. He's too quick to release the ball. And then when he's not quick enough to release the ball, he just doesn't throw it and gets the sack. Yep. So there's he needs to find the middle ground where he has enough time to roll back and find an open receiver. And there's the kickoff. And he's at the 30. Oh, no.
Managed to get some pretty good yards there off that kick.
Christian Kemp on the return. I believe where are they spotting him at? About
35.
Yeah,
it seemed like he got tackled at the 30, and then he somehow was still standing through that whole crowd of players.
That was a great return by Kemp.
Managed to earn himself 5 more yards.
He fielded that at around the 2-yard line, so that was a 33-yard return by Kemp. And I believe that's Overton on the carry.
Number 15, J.J.
Oh, no, Page on the quarterback keeper. Excuse me. Oh, he faked the handoff to Kemp. That's what got me. But Page ran the option there, and he kept it. And he got a few yards there. What, about 3 yards?
Yeah, I'd say about 2nd and 7 would be correct.
3-yard gain, second.
Yep, there we go.
They have about 7 to go yet. 2nd and 7 for the Marauders. Page in the shotgun.
And if you're Millersville, you have to score on this drive if you really want to contend with Kutztown
today. Oh, yeah.
Today.
They can't. Oh, there goes Overton. And it's going to be close. It depends on where they spot him, but yeah, that's a 3rd and inches. Oh, they're ruling it 3rd and 1. But that was a very good run by Overton. That was a 6-yard carry by Phil Overton. And Overton has 37 rushes for 139 yards coming into this game. So now that puts him at 38 rushes on the season already. That's a big workload for this early. And there goes Overton again. And he breaks free. He's at the 30, and he gets brought down at around the 27-yard line.
Marauders already answering back on this drive. Looks like we might have an offensive duel set up for us today.
Phil Overton is all over this Kutztown defense.
First down.
And Page has his boys in the huddle.
Now, the last game that we saw, that was here against Seton Hill. We didn't really see this kind of offense from the Marauders. They were kind of
really
shut down.
They were more Overton again. And he gets around a 3-yard carry. Page was looking for the play fake there, I believe, because after he handed the ball off, he faked a pass, or almost a reverse play action. But Overton is tearing up this Golden Bear defense. It's 2nd and 4 for the Marauders, down at, I would say, the 21. I believe that's the 21-yard line.
Yep.
Man in motion for the Marauders. Page handoff to Overton. Overton around the outside.
Overton again on the carry.
And I believe it's 3rd and 2 for the Marauders now.
Stopped on a play by number 2, Kenny Williams, and number 36, Kutztown. 3rd down from the Marauders.
Let's see if the Marauders can get another 3rd down conversion here. Already did once earlier in this drive with that amazing run.
Yeah. What they need to do is run a play-action pass here, in my opinion. They're giving the ball to Overton a lot, and now this Kutztown defense is expecting it. And you have Overton in the backfield, Page under center, man in motion to the right. Handoff to Overton, and he's
not that
swallowed
time.
up in the backfield by number 21.
24, Phil Overton.
No, that is not number 21. Excuse me.
Stopped on a play by number 31, Tajir Jefferson.
That is number 31, Tajir Jefferson for Kutztown with the tackle in the backfield.
For Millersville.
Finally, Kutztown defense solves the running game for the Marauders.
The
Let's see what
Marauders
happens
need to
here.
make this field goal here, though. They just have to get on the board. It's only a 1-score game, and if you make this field goal, then it's literally a 3-point game. And they're going for it.
All right,
Page
this is
in the
interesting.
shotgun. Snaps the ball. Short throw, and I don't believe he got it. Short throw to number 11, Nikote Nikoi.
The players are pointing over the line.
Number 11.
We don't have the best vantage point.
Nikoi on the catch there, number 11.
Play comes up short. Turnover on downs for the Marauder. 1st and 10 for Kutztown.
And that's a turnover for the Marauders.
Not sure why you would go for it this early in the game. I'd rather take the points. Interesting decision there. Let's see if the Marauders can make a stop this time around.
Coach Breitbach has a plan, and you just got to trust in him, as these players do very much. And now the Marauders line up on defense. Scanlon with the snap on the quarterback keeper. Excuse me, that's not Scanlon, that's Colin DeGalbo. DeGalbo on the quarterback keeper picks up around 6 yards. Oh no, excuse me, 7 yards. So it is a 2nd and 3 situation for the Kutztown Golden Bears. DeGalbo with one in the backfield. Option to the left, right. And I believe he was brought down either at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield.
Very little game for Kutztown right there.
27, John Jesperson.
Oh no, they gave it to him, I believe.
So the play's a 1st down.
Yep, that's a 1st down for Kutztown. And that was a short gain by the Golden Bears.
Just enough.
Just enough, yeah. DeGalbo in the backfield, in the pocket, wide open, but I don't know if he was inbounds. They're calling him inbounds.
I think he just managed to keep 2 feet in before the play got off.
Troy Parton with the reception. That was just a good job of DeGalbo by reading the Marauder defense. They brought some pressure to him, but that also on the pressure that left Parton open. and he found the open man before that Marauder defense could get to him.
Handoff goes number 23, Darryl Scott.
Darryl Scott on the carry, and I believe it is now 2nd and 9 for Kutztown.
Making a tackle for the Marauders, number 27, John
Not much
Jesperson.
there.
John Jesperson with the tackle for the Marauders, number 26. And DeGalbo in the backfield, man in motion. Parton is the man in motion. Handoff again. But
And again, nothing out of there.
I believe he got 1 to 2 yards on that, if anything.
Millersville defensive line stands up strong there. Now, 3rd and long.
One of the
Millersville
Marauders
could
had
really
his
use
helmet ripped off.
Could really use a stop right here.
Receiver brings up a 3rd down.
Mike Fitzpatrick for the Marauders had his helmet ripped off.
No Marauder fans, make some noise for your defense.
The MU cheerleaders are trying to fire up the crowd. DeGalbo
3rd and 6.
in the backfield, 3rd and 6. Scott in the backfield with DeGalbo. DeGalbo takes a snap, and it's an incomplete pass by Kutztown.
And now it's
Pass goes incomplete.
now Kutztown stares down 4th down for the first time this
Kendall
game.
Marks forcing the incompletion, and that's a 4th down for Kutztown, and that it appears the punt team's coming on. And I believe that is Brennan Scott for Kutztown that's going to punt the ball to none other than Phil Overton, who is back deep at the Millersville 20, and he muffs it. Low snap, and that's a fair catch by Overton.
That nearly spelled disaster for Kutztown right there.
That almost turned into a Millersville scoop and score.
Kutztown
What a
punter
recovery
Brennan Scott
by
there
Scott.
had it go right into the ground and thankfully recovered, but it was a line drive right to Overton.
But that was a lucky recovery for Kutztown.
All right.
And he's still up, and he's brought down at about the 15.
Pass complete to number 1, Kevin Wiggins.
Wiggins with the reception, but he's going to lose some yards on that one.
79, Christian Green. Number 96, Ronnie.
And some lost yards on this one. 2nd and
Millersville
14.
cannot afford to lose yards.
Loss of 4 in the play. 2nd down and 15.
Loss of 4. And Page is huddling the troops up. J.J. Page has to do something here. With his Marauder offense down 6-0 with 7:23 left in the first quarter, Page really needs to drive the Marauders down the field.
Apparently Page didn't like what he saw from Kutztown. Trying to come up with another play.
Yeah.
Apparently
Something's going on as Page called the huddle.
10 seconds. 7 minutes, 10 seconds on the game clock.
Oh, excuse me, 7:10 on the game clock. The clock had never ran after that last play. So now we're down to 7:10. That's why Page recalled
Okay.
the huddle.
All right.
The referee made him. Now there's 20 seconds left on the game clock. And Page in the shotgun with Overton in the backfield. Page drops back, and I believe he caught it.
my!
What a reception by number 36, Christian Kemp. What a reception. That was what, a 60-yard catch by Kemp?
That was a thing of beauty.
What a beautiful pass by Page and an
Oh.
even better catch by
J.J.
Kemp.
Page with an amazing pass, and now hopefully Millersville can get something out of this after that amazing pass. Could not have drawn it up any better.
Beautiful grab by Kemp. Page hit him right in stride. Beautiful pass. Kutztown, I don't believe, was ready for that one.
Seemed like Christian Kemp on that one was just one step ahead of everyone trying to follow him. Managed to come up with that.
Page sends Wiggins in motion. Page scrambling, still scrambling, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield.
Page on carry. Brought down by
Very spotty offense here early from Millersville. We've
Tajir
seen-
Jefferson with the sack for Kutztown, but that's a loss of 2 yards, and they cannot afford that. And now it's 2nd and 12 for the Marauders.
We've seen some very good plays from this Millersville offense. We've also seen some pretty bad ones too.
Yeah, there's no other word to describe it. They're inconsistent. I mean, you have players that are putting up a great game, such as Phil Overton, Christian Kemp, but you also have players that are hot and cold. I know it's really early in the game, and there's Overton on the carry. Up the middle he goes, and that appears to be about a 5-yard gain.
Now the Marauders have 3rd down and quite a ways to go facing them.
Chris McMonigal on the tackle by Kutztown. Overton, again, they give him the ball, and he just keeps on trucking. But you have players, like we were saying earlier, you have players like Kemp and Overton who are having very good games, even though it's early in the first quarter. Well, it's late in the first quarter, but early in the game yet. And then you have Page, who is very hot and cold. Good throw by Page, though, to number 11.
I believe he got it.
He caught it. I think he's got the first down. Yes, he does.
Yep, all right.
Nikote Nikoi with the catch.
Great 3rd down conversion there by the Marauders.
46, Zach Delp.
A good catch by
First down.
Nikoi. And a very well-placed throw by J.J. Page. Kutztown was really bringing the pressure, and it left Nikoi open a little bit, and J.J. Page found the open man. And Page setting the shotgun with Overton to his left now because he put him in motion. And there's the snap. Quick throw across the middle by Page to number 88 for Millersville, Jordan Boynton. Very, very good route by Boynton. He cut right across the middle. The Mike linebacker wasn't ready, and that's a 4-yard gain for Millersville. They really need to pick apart that linebacking core for Kutztown, as that seems to be Kutztown's Achilles heel during this first quarter.
Second trip to the, end, to the red
left.
zone for Millersville.
And there's the reverse to Wiggins, and Wiggins up the middle, and I
And he's gonna
believe
be
he is
in.
in the end zone for a Marauder touchdown.
The referees
No,
haven't.
I think they're spotting him on the 1.
Oh.
So close. Yeah, they're putting him on the 1.
Well, a new fresh set of downs. Only a yard to gain, but
There's a flag on the
Flag
Uh-oh.
on the play. This one's coming back. Holding on the offense, and this one comes back. All those yards that Millersville gained.
Just when you think it was going to go so great for Millersville, not only is it called at the 1, it's then pushed back 10 yards because of the flag. I mean, it almost seems like the Marauders can't catch a break some games.
I mean, judging, if my memory serves me correctly, they had, 3 penalties in the last quarter against Seton Hill? And that really cost them there. And this could potentially cost them. It is 2nd and 16 for the Marauders. Page in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, and he rolls out. He's scrambling, and I believe he's going to keep it, but he got a few yards before being brought down.
J.J. Page on the carry. Stop at number
Looks like
97,
we got
Eric Condren.
3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, roughly.
Eric Condren on the tackle for Kutztown. Just got him by the ankle and brought him down, but Page can motor when he has to, but he really has
Not
to find
16 yards.
he has to find a way to get the ball off, and it is 3rd and 12 for Millersville. 2:54 left in the first quarter. 6-0 Kutztown right now. Page in the shotgun, puts Wiggins in motion, and there's the snap. And an incomplete pass, but there's a flag on the play. And I believe that's a pass interference call. We'll have to wait and see. But Nikoi for Millersville got The ball wasn't even there, and he got plastered by Kutztown.
Kutztown nearly thought they had an interception there with the tip up.
Almost, but that should be a
We'll
pass
see what the refs
interference
come
call.
up with here.
As the referees huddle up between both teams to confirm or decline the call. We'll see what the referee has to say. Defensive holding. And
All
that's
right,
a
fresh
first
set it
down, Marauders.
Fresh set it
Wow.
down for the Marauders. They got very lucky there. Now let's hope they can do something with it.
Either way, that was a penalty. If you want to call it defensive holding, pass interference, either way, the flag should have been thrown, and it was. That was a good call by the officiating crew. However, that really worked out in Millersville's favor. And Page breaks the huddle. Page with split backs right now. In the shotgun, he has split backs. Overton to his right, Wiggins to his left, and puts Wiggins in motion. Hand off to Overton. Overton up the middle, but he is stopped short of the end zone at about the 5-yard line, I believe. 12. We'll have to see where he is. I do believe he's
Calling it 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 for the Marauders. That was a 3-yard rush by Overton up the middle. Again, Page in the shotgun. Man, Millersville likes this shotgun offense. Kemp in motion. And that's a wow. Wow. Wiggins had it, and then I believe
Just slipped out of his hands.
number
He
30.
had-
No. That was Ahi Cox-Cohen for Kutztown who broke up that pass. I do believe that Wiggins had it and would have held on to it, but Cox-Cohen got his hand in there and ripped Wiggins' arm away, and that cost him to drop the ball. And that was just good defense by the Golden Bears.
A little bit of a mishap here with the Marauders. They don't know how to.
They don't know
who
what
was coming
formation
off and
they're
who was
in.
coming
And
on, but
Page, the lone man in the backfield, nobody with him. And he snaps it 5 wideouts to Kemp,
And there
that's
we
a
go.
touchdown for the Millersville Marauders.
there we go.
Beautiful, beautiful play and a wonderful throw.
An instant response. It
Turn up the sound. There's no sound. That's a touchdown, Marauders. Beautiful.
It's about time. now that you've gotten the first touchdown out of the way, you know you have the confidence that your offense can beat Kutztown. Granted, Millersville did get a good set of downs from
And
the
the
penalties.
kick is good, and now the Marauders have the lead. Wow. It took them about 6 minutes to drive the ball down the field, but that was a beautiful play by Page and a wonderful catch by Kemp.
Attention fans, throughout today's game, members
And
of
the extra point attempt,
Athlete Advisory Committee will be
I
accepting
believe,
donations for Make-A-Wish
was made by number 9, Evan Stahl, with the extra point.
last February, and will do so again this year. Help us make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish children by donating today.
And the Millersville kickoff team takes the field. And Kutztown has 3 men back deep to return. 1:39 left here in the first quarter. 7-6 Millersville over Kutztown. The opening weekend of PSAC East Division play. Stahl ready to tee the ball off here. Kutztown has 3 guys back deep to return. Stahl with a boomer down the field. And Kutztown receives. He's out at the 20. And about the 25, he gets tackled.
Now, if you're the Marauders, you have to have a defensive stop here. Get the ball again, run it down the field one more time, and really Just you have to get yourself a lead. Millersville has played so many games just trailing from behind early, and they can't afford to let that happen here. They need to get out in front, get a commanding lead, and then do their best to keep it throughout the game.
Yeah, that's exactly what they have to do, Ben. You're right. Millersville, now that they're ahead with 1:34 left in the first quarter, they have to keep Kutztown at bay. And DeGalbo in the shotgun has Scott, hand off to Scott. And I believe he picks up a few yards.
Not much there, though. Not too much.
John Jesperson on the tackle for the Marauders.
3-yard gain, second down and 7. Pass complete to number 82, Kellen Williams.
Kellen Williams with the reception for Kutztown.
27, John Jesperson.
John Jesperson again on the tackle, and that is a Kutztown first down, I believe.
Yep.
Call to the play as the first down.
And the teams are lining up here. There it is, and I believe another Golden Bear first down.
That's probably the fourth or fifth time that Kutztown quarterback Craig. Hold on a second.
Santos in on the tackle
DeGalbo, that's
for
who
the
it is.
Marauders.
DeGalbo, the rookie. That's probably the fourth or fifth time he's thrown to the sideline in this one. Whenever he looks for a pass, he can always look to his left or his right,
Yep.
down the line.
And there's another handoff, and oh, wow.
Handoff again to number 13, Craig Reynolds.
He got stuffed at the line. Oh, they're giving him a yard, but Reynolds couldn't get anywhere.
But DeGalbo, like I said, he's always looking towards his lines. All of his receivers are going wide. He's yet to pass straight down the middle.
Yeah, that Marauder defense has the middle covered up very well, but DeGalbo still seems to get it outside in time before they can get to him. And there's DeGalbo, drops back, and caught by Reynolds.
That was a great catch by Craig Reynolds there. Jump in the air, threw his back towards the defender, made sure he could get both his arms free and just haul it in.
And that is the end of the first quarter, and it is 7-6 here at Bemis Durfer Stadium. The Marauders are up 7-6 on the Kutztown Golden Bears.
The Millersville softball player winning ticket will be announced at the end of halftime. Going into
So after one,
50-50 tickets.
it is
Also
and
take this time
7-6 Millersville. After one, we will be right back after this. Back here in the second quarter, it is 14:55 left.
Second down at 10.
Second quarter just started. 7-6 Millersville. DeGalbo just threw an incomplete pass to start off the Golden Bears. And it's 2nd and 10 as he is in the backfield. And he has Craig Reynolds behind him. And he is in a shotgun formation with Reynolds to his left. And Millersville appears to be blitzing. And
Oh,
wow,
my
what
goodness.
a beautiful catch by number 19,
Galbo's pass.
Nathan Hollander.
Nathan Hollander.
The safety Kendall Marks right there really should have, if he had just turned around, he didn't really think the pass, so he just kept his eyes on the receiver the entire time. If he just looked up and just jumped, that pass would not have been completed.
That was a very good read by DeGalbo and an even better catch by Hollander. DeGalbo in the shotgun. And it's picked off by Millersville. He's going. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and it appears to be a Marauder touchdown.
Oh, what
Wow.
a play by the Marauders on that one. PJ Santos with the lucky
Wow.
pick and grab right at the 10. That's a 90-yard pick six right there for the Marauders, and that is exactly how you start off the second quarter in this one.
I believe that was, what, an 80-yard pick six by Santos?
I want to say 90. They were Kutztown
deep
was
into
threatening
Millersville
in the red
territory.
zone right there, and just PJ Santos somehow came up with it, ran straight down the sideline, and this is exactly what the Marauders need in this game. They needed this offensive pick-me-up. Oh, but a blocked kick. So not everything is glitter and gold right now for the Marauders.
Well, it is a full touchdown game now. The Marauders are up by 7, 13-6 the score here with 14:21 in the second quarter left. And that was just an absolutely absurd play. It bounced off the Kutztown receiver's hands, right into the hands of Santos, and he turned on the afterburners, never looked back, and away he went to the big house.
PJ Santos, the senior free safety on that one. But now if you are Millersville, you have to defend this lead. Kutztown cannot score on this drive. At least you can allow a field goal, but just do not let them score whatsoever on this drive. You need to keep this momentum going. You need to, just show that you are not going to let Kutztown just walk right in and answer right back. They need to have a stop here.
And they were having a very good drive down the field, the Golden Bears were, until Santos had something to say about it. And Stahl all set. Stahl with the kick, and it's a little short. And he is around the outside, and he is tackled. Oh, no, he's not. He's still loose.
He managed to dodge probably at least 8 Millersville players there.
Reynolds
on
with
that
the kickoff return to about the 37, 38 yard line.
First and 10 for Kutztown.
Excuse me, the ball's on the 39. I was close, but it's a little weird to judge up here. However, Kutztown starts on the Millersville on their own 39-yard line. First and 10 for the Golden Bears with 14:10 left in the second quarter. DeGalbo in the shotgun. Has Reynolds in the backfield with him. Hand off to Reynolds. And flag down.
Handle goes number 23, Daryl Scott.
Excuse me, that was Scott.
On the play.
They have very similar numbers, and 13 and 23. I keep getting them confused. There's a flag on the play. Let's see what the referee has to say.
Holding. Offense number 72.
And that's just going to set them back.
Yep. That is
Let's see if the Marauders can take advantage of this opportunity given to them now.
that is a momentum killer. If you're a football team and you get a holding call on first down, of every single down to get a holding call on, it's the first play of your drive. That's a momentum killer. And now we have DeGalbo in the shotgun. No one in the backfield with him. And he takes a snap, and it's a quarterback keeper. Up the middle he goes. And he gets hit and keeps going. And, wow, what a hit he took.
That was a good 15-yard run there by DeGalbo.
No, I believe they're only giving him about 10, so it should be 2nd and 5. But, wow, what a hit he took. And he stayed in there, though. You got to give him credit. DeGalbo takes a snap, handoff to Reynolds again, and he's up the middle, and it takes 2 Marauders, and they stop his forward progress.
Handoff goes to number 23, Daryl Scott.
Daryl Scott again, excuse me. Wow.
Play by number 7,
But
Marks.
Kendall
Millersville
Marks.
already, their defense is having a tough time tackling the Kutztown players. The last 3 plays we've seen the Kutztown players just run right at them and still get yards. Nobody from Millersville can seem to like really get a solid tackle in and take down any Kutztown players, not even their own quarterback.
No, they really can't. And DeGalbo takes a snap. This time it is to Reynolds for sure. He goes up the middle for about a gain of 4.
Handoff goes to number 13,
I mean, even on the kick return,
stop by number 27,
a Kutztown player just managed to dodge almost everyone, and then when somebody did get contact on him, he still got another 5 yards after contact.
Yeah, their yards, the yards that the Golden Bears put up after contact is astronomical. DeGalbo in the backfield, that is Scott, I believe, number 23. And there's a snap. And it's caught. No,
Nope,
it is not.
dropped.
Wow.
DeGalbo's pass goes incomplete.
It amazes me how Millersville has stayed in this game when their safeties just don't know when to turn their heads. Because right there, it looks like number 23 for the Marauders.
I believe that was Santos who was a little late to turn. The same guy who had the pick 6.
No, that was 23, Alpha Khan.
Oh, 23?
Yeah, that was Alpha Khan right there, who was guarding the receiver 82, Kellen Williams. And
Yeah,
Kellen
Alpha
Williams,
Khan.
if he didn't drop that pass, he would have totally had it.
And there's the
because-
handoff, and they stuff him.
Oh, there you go.
Handoff goes to number 23, Daryl Scott.
Oh,
Flag.
and the flag on the play. See what it is for here. Maybe an unsportsmanlike for celebration from 69, Mike Fitzpatrick.
I believe they're going to call unsportsmanlike because
The
when he
whistles
got up-
did go off. The whistles did go off, and then the quarterback was taken down.
No, that wasn't the quarterback. That was the running back, Daryl Scott. And they're calling unsportsmanlike on Millersville.
I mean,
And
it could have gone. That's a tough one to call, honestly. I mean, the whistle was late. The quarterback was held up, and as a referee, it's always tough to make that decision.
Schonberger.
So I don't know. I think if Fitzpatrick just kept his arms down and just let it be, probably wouldn't have gotten that unsportsmanlike call. Let's
No.
see if it costs him.
that could be costly for the Marauders. Now Kutztown has a first down at the 22. Scott with the handoff, and he goes up the middle, and that's, flagged down, but that's a Kutztown touchdown for now. But I believe this one's coming back. I saw a late hit by the Bears there on number 7. Kendall Marks got
yeah.
blocked very late. So I believe this one's coming back.
Holding. Offense
Yep.
number 19.
And there goes the touchdown. Again, a momentum killer. That is the
Yep.
second holding call Kutztown has had on this drive alone.
Referees giveth, referees taketh away.
Very true in every sport. Doesn't matter what sport it is. Referees can giveth, and as you said, Ben, they can taketh away.
So
And right now, Millersville just got lucky because that score could have potentially tied the game up with 11:50 left in the second quarter. But now it's 1st and 15 on the 27 for Kutztown, on Millersville's 27. And there's a snap to Galbo. Hands to, I believe that's Reynolds. And he is forced out of bounds at around the 10-yard line.
Handoff goes to number 13, Craig Reynolds. Forced out of bounds by number 7, Kendall
took
Marks.
out somebody on the sideline. Looks like he's all right.
Yeah, he appears to be okay.
Risky business on those sidelines. We
Yep.
do hope nobody gets injured off of that, but could have been worse. He could have been holding something expensive.
Yeah. That is a 2nd and 1, I believe. Handoff to Scott, and he is, wow. He broke about 3 tackles in 10 seconds. And I believe they're going to give him the first down. Oh, no, it is now 1st and goal for the Golden Bears. I believe they're spotting him at about the 8-yard line, 7-yard line, excuse me. So it's 1st and goal for the Golden Bears. Split backs for DeGalbo, as Millersville appears to be bringing everyone. And there's the handoff to Reynolds, and I believe he did not get anywhere.
He had a gap to his right, but chose not to go through, and it closed on him right as soon as he went into contact.
Well, he saw the linebacker waiting for him in that gap. I don't know if you could see it because you have that pole in front of you, but from where I am, I could see the linebacker there that I'm sure he picked up on, because he did not want to go there. That linebacker filled that hole, and Reynolds had nowhere to go. That was a good stop by the Marauders.
Yep.
Now it is 2nd and 6. Handoff again to Reynolds.
And right there, another missed tackle by the Marauders.
And it's a Kutztown touchdown. That I honestly thought that he wasn't in, but I couldn't judge it from here. But if the referee says he was in, then he was in.
Again, it's almost annoying to watch as a football fan how Millersville just cannot make a solid tackle. They got guys who can, they're getting in front of them, but Kutztown is getting so many yards because there's no solid hitting from the Millersville defense. And that's got to change if they want to stay in this game.
And the extra point is good. 10:21 remaining in the
13 to 13 now.
Millersville 13, Kutztown 13.
As Millersville just gave up another touchdown. And we're all knotted up with 10:21 left in the 2nd quarter. And the kick return team for Millersville is coming onto the field.
I will say, however, great recovery by DeGalbo, the Kutztown quarterback, out, shaking off that interception, not letting it phase him, knowing that it was a mistake. Wasn't exactly his fault. It was a deflection.
It hit his receiver's hands and went right to Santos.
But props to Kutztown for recovering from that monstrous pick 6 and managing to tie the game up like it was nothing.
And there's a short little kick by Kutztown. And Kemp muffs it.
Uh-oh.
Picks it up, and he has nowhere to go. Breaks 1 tackle, but that's going to be it for Kemp as he gets mobbed by about 6
That's
Bears.
the last thing you want from Millersville's. You want to get back into this game. You want to regain that lead that you just lost in a very bad way to take
Corey
that kick.
Tomasetti on the tackle there for Kutztown. As Kemp muffed that, Ben, what did you see go wrong there?
It was a very odd kick from Kutztown. It was more of a line drive than anything. And then a bouncer is never easy, no matter what. And he just misjudged it. So thankfully for Millersville, it wasn't a fumble. That's the only thing that really could have been worse. But you're on your own.
Flag down,
like 14.
as Overton gains a few.
There is a flag on the play.
You're on your own 14-yard line. That's, it's very bad starting field position. You just lost your lead, and then now you have a terrible kickoff. Although, with that call, face mask, you just got your field position back.
Called on number 85, Chris McMonigal, for Kutztown, and that just gave Millersville everything they wanted and more. Now the ball's on the 30, and it's 1st and 10. We have 9:54 left here in the second quarter. It is still 13-13. Page in the backfield. No one there. Oh, Overton put in motion. Handoff to Overton. Oh, flea flicker. And he bombs
it's going
it deep looking for
downfield.
Wiggins.
Oh!
And there's no flag.
Oh, there
but
is a
there's-
flag now.
There is a flag now. And I believe it's going to be a pass interference call.
Center for number 1, Kevin Wiggins.
Wiggins was wide open, and then out of nowhere, he gets dragged down or either tripped over himself or
He did.
something.
Wiggins did get a little bit of a push there when he was running downfield. When I was watching him, it didn't seem like enough for a pass interference call from me, but
It really
the referee on the field decided that it was enough.
He could have, or who knows what happened. I do not know.
Having a meeting about it now.
Yep.
See what the verdict.
There's no foul on the play. Contact is illegal. Second down.
That was.
And they take the flag away.
I think that was the right call there. I think Wiggins, while he did get a tiny little bit of a push, there really wasn't anybody close enough to him to really be solid concrete interference. So I think that was the right call by the refs there. I think he was pressured almost by the Millersville crowd here to throw that flag, but thankfully they can.
I definitely agree with you there. This crowd was losing their minds over that one. But Wiggins was tripped up on the play. And Page in the shotgun. Overton to his left. Handoff to Overton. Nope, it's a quarterback keeper. And Page picks up maybe 2.
Number 15, J.J. Page on the carry.
The defense bit on the fake handoff, but Page got tripped up there. And Tajir Jefferson got enough of Page to bring him down. Kutztown is lined up in a 4-man front here, as Millersville has trips to the right, trips receivers to the right. Page scrambles to get out of trouble, and he just
You
runs
gotta get
right
rid of
into
that
the
ball.
Kutztown lineman.
It's 3rd and 10. You have got to pass that ball. You have to. Why Page thought it was a good idea to run is beyond me, but now you have just given the ball away. I've got nothing out of this drive when you just lost the lead, and now you have to go up against Kutztown's offense again.
Page needs to do a better job of getting the ball out when he has the chance. He's very inconsistent. When he does get the ball out on time, it's a great throw 9 times out of 10. But 7 out of 8 times, he's not going to get the ball out. And flag
Another
down.
flag.
So no matter what happens, I believe this one's coming back.
And again, another missed tackle. Could have had great field position for the Millersville defense. Kutztown would have been in their own 20, 25, around that area. And then now it's run all the way up the field just because they can't make solid hits. Let's see what this flag does. Maybe it changes that. But
I do believe this one's coming not all the way back, but at least a little bit.
Receiving team number 2. 10-yard penalty. First down. Kutztown.
And they take 10 yards back.
as opposed to, let's say, 30 yards back that they could have had if they could just make hits. It's insane that these guys just cannot seem to really pack a punch against Kutztown.
Wow. They put Kutztown all the way back at their own 30-yard line with that flag. Kutztown was down near the Millersville 30-yard line, and they moved them all the way back to their own 30.
Seems a lot more than 10 yards to me.
Well, it's from the spot of the foul.
But we'll take it.
from the spot of the foul. So I didn't realize it was that deep into Kutztown's own territory. And DeGalbo with the handoff to, I believe that is Reynolds. And
Handoff goes to number 4, James Watt Jr.
well, it was James Watt Jr., not Reynolds or Scott.
Kutztown bringing out all their running weapons.
Yes, this running attack for the Golden Bears is what is their bread and butter today. 5-man front for Millersville. And handoff to Waugh Jr. again as he picks up a Kutztown first down.
Hand again to number 4, James Waugh Jr.
Waugh has some speed. I don't know if you saw that, but he really has some speed.
Not one of the bigger guys on the team. He's about maybe a foot shorter than his quarterback, but of course the smaller guys are always the more speediest, and he even
they're
has
slippery, man. They are real slippery. 7:15 left. Handoff to Waugh yet again, but I believe he's going to lose yards on this one as that Marauder defense got into the backfield, and there's a scrum. I can't tell if the ball got knocked loose or Santos came up on the tackle.
It was after he was down if that ball got out.
2nd and 10. So poor Waugh Jr. couldn't even get back to barely got back to his own line of scrimmage. I mean, and split backs again. Now he puts Waugh in motion. This time a handoff to Scott.
I don't think
that was a handoff to Scott.
I think that's enough.
And
no, it was.
And they're going to mark that as a first down for the Golden Bears.
Time ticking away from the Marauders here. They really need to make a stop if they want to get one more chance at scoring before the end of the half.
6:25 left here in the first half, as it is 13-13, all knotted up, and Millersville bringing the blitz, gets into the backfield. However, it was a screen pass by Kutztown, and there goes Reynolds as he is pushed out of bounds by number 7, Kendall Marks.
Yeah.
Wow. What normally would have been a 3 to 4 yard pass turned into a 33-yard pass. Now Millersville.
The decision to blitz really bit Millersville in their own behind right there. They tried to, rush the quarterback right there, ended up leaving that whole side of the field open with only one guy even having a chance at tackling the receiver. And he had at least 3 blockers on him. There was no way he was getting to the receiver on that one.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. And that's a Kutztown touchdown. Now Millersville has to strike back. They cannot afford to go into the locker room at halftime down by potentially 7 or 8 points. Right now they're down by 6. We'll have to see if they send the kick team out or if they go for 2. But it appears that they are going for 2.
Well, after the missed kick earlier.
I believe that's a good decision by Kutztown to go for 2. You want to try and put up as many points as you can. And DeGalbo
what happens here
with the quarterback keeper, and he throws it, and nope.
Yep, all right.
Incomplete pass. And that means the score with 5:51 left is 19-13. Kutztown over Millersville.
And what the Marauders need right now is a solid offensive drive. The past 2 scores that Millersville has had, one of them they had penalties become their saving grace, which gave them about 9 extra tries in the red zone, which they should have scored on the first one. Then the penalty brought it back, and then there was the holding call. And then you also got a very lucky pick 6 from their own 10, brought it all the way back. What you need right here is a complete offensive drive, no mistakes, no errors, perfect passes, great running plays, no stops whatsoever if you really want to show Kutztown that you still want to be in this game.
Yeah, they cannot afford to rest on their laurels as they did last drive. They do not have that luxury right now. As Kutztown gets set to kick off, they're using the same kicker as they did for the last kick, so I believe it's going to be another line drive. They're going to try and get Kemp to muff it again. But Kemp appears to be ready, and if he's not, then Koite Nikoi is back there as well. So you have Kemp and Nikoi back there, and there's the kick, and it's a short one. And the big fella picks it up, number 50 for Millersville.
Some very odd
Tommy Holloway.
Some very odd kicks from Kutztown this half. You know,
They're
you had the
trying to-
line drive that got blocked on their first touchdown of the game, ended up missing the extra point. You had that awkward bouncing line drive earlier, and then now you had this kind of infield fly, bringing in some baseball terminology here. But that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it was like. It was a blooper that didn't even reach the returners all the way in the back. It ended up going to number 50, Tommy Holloway there, a defensive end.
The big fella rumbled for a little bit, and there's Page. Quick throw out to Wiggins, and flag on the play. And I believe this is going to be a holding call.
There's a flag on the play.
Millersville already stepping back as if they know it's
Yep.
theirs.
Kemp had a hold of the jersey a little too much, and I believe this one's coming back. The few yards that Wiggins did gain.
Offense number 30, penalty, first down.
Yep, and that's exactly what they called. They called Kemp on the hold. However, I do believe that that could have went either way. Wiggins made a very good catch, and Kutztown sent 2 defenders after him right away.
Which was very smart of them.
Yes, both.
Wiggins is a very dangerous offensive weapon. We haven't seen too much of him today, but hopefully we'll see more of him in the second half.
Yes, and Page gets sacked in the backfield yet again. That's how
It
many
is not-
sacks for Kutztown now? 3, 4?
I would think, yeah, that sounds about right. Page just he really just doesn't know when to let it go. I don't know what he's so afraid of. He hasn't been picked off today, but it sure seems like he's keeping that ball like he's been picked off 5 times today.
You know what this game reminds me a lot of? It reminds me of, this is going to sound very weird, but it reminds me of the Texans-Patriots game from Thursday night, where Brissett, the new Patriots quarterback, wouldn't throw it. He'd just run.
Except Page isn't running. He's trying to run, getting no yards, and getting sacked behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and the Marauders pick up about 8 yards, I believe, and it's 3rd and 8 now for the Marauders.
Brings up a 3rd down and 8 for the Marauders.
And
Page needs to throw a bomb downfield on this play. Something to excite this offense.
just get the first down at this point. You got to keep the chains moving. It's 3rd down. You're down in the game. 4:25 left. 19-13. Page with the snap, and he throws it, and that's got to be a flag. I don't know
Yep,
how.
there it is.
There it is. There's the pass interference. I do believe so, as they were all over. All over.
I think it was Marcel.
I believe
Mingo, they said? Yeah, Marcel
Marcel
Mingo. number 13.
Mingo.
That was he was getting held up there.
Very much so.
The referees are going to have a talk about it.
I
We'll
do
see.
believe that's exactly
Again.
what they're calling. It should be. Yep.
Another gift from the referees, and Millersville has to take advantage of it.
They can't look a gift horse in the mouth, and they did last time.
Fans, would Anthony Middleton please report to the main gate?
However,
Again, Anthony
They-
Middleton, can you please
they are
report
still
to
down
the
in this
main
game
gate
by
of the
6
stadium?
points.
Thank you.
All you need here is a touchdown and an extra point. Excuse me, not a field goal. Field goals are 3 points. Extra points are 1. So Page in the backfield, no one with him. Snaps the ball in the shotgun, looks deep, and that's a sack by Kutztown. And I believe that is number 98,
Page sacked on the play by
Steve
number 98,
Plausis.
Steve Plausis.
Page looked like he had his receiver in his eyes and was just about to throw it. Offensive line let him down there.
Well, that was more Page than anybody. Page should have got rid of the ball, as he had
He was
plenty
just
of
about
time.
to. He was ready. He was ready. I saw him cock it back, and then like as he was about to let it go, he saw that somebody was coming right for him, and then he just
tucked it,
held
yeah.
on to it. So, but it's not. It hasn't been a good day for Page.
No, it really has not. He's had a few good plays, but the majority of the plays has been mediocre to bad. Page with the drop back again. Throws across the middle, and it's, oh, wow. Number 87 for Millersville, Zach Slonak.
Zach Slonik
Page threw it behind him, and Slonak did all he could.
for the Marauders.
And that just that was almost a Kutztown interception. It deflected off of
Could have
Slonak.
gone either way. It was.
And, I mean, Page put that pass a country mile behind Slonak. So I don't know how he got the hand on it to bring it closer to himself. And that was a good attempt by Slonak. Page needs to lead his receivers. He can't put it behind him. Page, 2 backs in the backfield. Fakes it and throws it.
Yeah,
And Wiggins is going to be out of bounds.
That was a.
Page's pass goes incomplete, out of bounds.
That was just a 50-50 pass right there, just trying to get it away before he could get sacked again.
And that's a 4th down again for Millersville. If I'm Coach Breitbach, what I would do is I'd run a fake punt right now because you're down in the game. You got nothing to lose.
9, Evan Stahl.
You got 3 minutes till halftime. Evan Stahl's back to punt it, and there we go. Deep punt, and it's gonna go.
Can he get a hand on it?
I do believe that they're gonna spot it at the 1.
No,
they're calling touchback.
Yep.
He
It was
almost
close.
had his
It was
hand
very
up.
close. Had he just had another step, maybe one extra bounce to slow it down,
He almost had that. That's for sure.
that would have been some very favorable defensive positioning for Millersville. But
So Kutztown will start on their own 20 with 3:04 left. That was a good call by the Kutztown kick returner there
Don't forget, fans,
to let the ball roll because he knew he couldn't get to the 20.
50-50
we'll see if
tickets.
Kutztown can run the clock out here. If you're Millersville, you have to make a stop right here. You're not letting them get any more than 4 plays on this ball, and that last one has to be a punt, or else you're not getting any more points before the half ends. 3 minutes left, and everyone still has their timeouts.
Yes,
So-
both teams still have their timeouts. Handoff to, I believe that's Reynolds.
Handoff goes to number 13, Craig Reynolds.
Yes, it is Reynolds.
55,
2:50
Tanner
left.
Dean at number 6.
As Kutztown, I believe, like you said, Ben, they're going to eat the clock. And going into halftime, what do you think Coach Breitbach will say to the boys?
I think he's saying, it ends we have to start playing serious football. What we have been playing like
And
this
there
right
we
here.
go again.
So many guys attacking.
5
we need
broken
you need
tackles.
to start making your hits. You need to start playing tough. You need to start making passes. You need to start making smart decisions. Because we have seen none of that in this first half. We have seen lucky breaks, and that is why Millersville has 13 points on that board. Because of the referees pretty much giving them all the chances in the world in their own red zone, and then a lucky interception. You just have to start playing smart football because we have not seen that from the Marauders at all this first half.
And Reynolds with a few yards there. 2:12 left, and as Ben just said, Millersville has to do something.
Tackle made by number 44, Logan Kinzer.
Logan Kinzer
5, Tanner
on the tackle there for the Ville. And
Second down and 8.
1:58 left. 19-13, Kutztown leads. DeGalbo has split backs. And Millersville bringing everyone. And again, he breaks free. And Reynolds this time is brought down by number 23, Alpha Khan.
Handoff again, number 13, Craig Reynolds.
But
Stopped on the play by number 23.
See,
Alpha
Kutztown's
Khan.
just managed to find all the gaps in this game. Their running game has been superb just because no one is there to stop them. They can just run through with ease and drag a guy practically and still get all these yards.
exactly. And wow, I'm surprised that there wasn't a flag on that one. They had contact the entire way down the field. That was intended for number 82, Kellen Williams, as DeGalbo hasn't thrown many incompletes today, but the few he has thrown, either
Cornerback
the
Jared's-
referees have caused that to happen, or the Millersville defense, especially the safeties, have done their jobs. And there's DeGalbo again. And Wow.
No, see, look at
Waugh
look
Jr.
at
has
this.
just broken 4 tackles in the backfield, but he is still swallowed up.
That is, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's ridiculous how many times the Millersville defense can throw their weight at a guy and completely miss.
Oh, you're right,
There were
Ben.
2 guys who could have knocked down that running back right there, and they
55
didn't do
seconds
it.
left.
Completely missed.
Yes.
That is just
numerous players had a shot at bringing Waugh Jr. down.
Kutztown.
Timeout by the Golden Bears. If your kicker's good enough, they could make this kick.
They still have another down to go.
They still do, but I know it's 3rd and 16, and they're trying to kill the clock. So if I'm Kutztown, what I'm going to do here is I would just run it up the middle, send the kicker on the field, let him eat the clock up as much as he can, and send it home. But they're at about the 34-yard line. And I believe that would be, what, a 40-odd yard attempt?
Yeah, something like that.
It'd be a very
it's
deep
bit-
kick.
And you've already had one blocked, and the way we've seen him kick today, it's been very inconsistent.
It's not the kicker's fault.
We've seen fly balls, we've seen line drives, no real consistent kicking. So
Yeah.
if I was Kutztown, I'd try to get as close as possible.
And
Let's see if Millersville can come up with a stop here.
the crowd is getting fired up now. And DeGalbo, 5 wideouts. Looks deep, and it's way overthrown
some
as he
great-
is hit. And it's an incomplete pass by DeGalbo.
Number 13, Craig Reynolds.
That was some great pressure there by the Millersville defense. They managed to get someone out wide, run straight at the Galbo, and he was pressured into making that throw, hence why it didn't hit his receiver.
I believe Kutztown is going to go for it here.
Actually, I think this is quite a smart move. You give DeGalbo another chance.
I don't
Catch
think
the
they're
Millersville
doing that. I
defense
think he's just
off
going to take a
guard.
knee. I think he's going to take a knee and run the
You know-
clock.
You know the Millersville offense has not been doing that well this game.
Oh, nope, he is going to throw it. 5 wide, and he is sacked by this Millersville defense. Wow. Wow.
That was actually finally some good defense we are seeing from the Marauders here in this one, taking down DeGalbo on 4th down. Now you have 46 seconds. You have about 65 yards to go, roughly, to try and tie this one up or even take the lead before the half ends. But we have to start seeing a consistent, smart offense. Your defense finally woke up. Granted, we are in the dying moments of the first half, but they finally woke up, finally got to Kutztown. Now the offense has to do their turn.
Page in the backfield, 5 wide, and takes the snap. Looks short, and that's a Kutztown interception. Wow. I believe.
That is quite the opposite of smart offense that I just talked about right
Well,
there.
that was a deflection again. Both interceptions in this game have come off deflections. Zach Delp with the interception by Kutztown, and it just bounced out of the Millersville receiver's hands right into Delp's, and he took off, but he got hit hard.
He did take, I think Millersville starting to get angry, You literally just get the ball. You're trying to get a scoring chance, try to tie it up before the half, and then instead it just goes as a deflection, interception. Probably one of the worst ways to end a half. And let's hope that Kutztown doesn't score on this drive, but they are threatening.
And Millersville bringing everyone. DeGalbo throws deep and incomplete, but I'm surprised again, no flag.
That ball was heading straight out of bounds. It was going to be
Uncatchable, but still, they made so much contact down the field. They were all over each other. 32 seconds left here in the first half. Kutztown leads 19-13. DeGalbo has one in the backfield with him. I believe that's Daryl Scott. Four wideouts, and there goes DeGalbo. And that's a
mid-air hit.
Mid-air hit. You're correct. I
Those-
believe that's
Those are never fun. Those always bring
Jared
pain.
Satterfield.
Tackle number 6, Jared Satterfield.
Jared Satterfield on the tackle. DeGalbo again takes a snap, throws deep. Kellen Williams. Wow, what an amazing catch.
I don't know how 23 Alpha Khan, the cornerback for the Marauders, how he did not get a hand on that ball and deflect it away is beyond me.
I don't know how Kellen Williams got both hands on it and brought it in. 10 seconds left, and the referees stopped the clock. I believe
Someone's taking a timeout.
I believe it's Millersville. Coach Breitbach called a timeout. 10 seconds left here. And I think he's trying to force Kutztown to keep the offense on the field to hopefully create some kind of mishap.
Something needs to happen for Millersville here. They just need something.
They really have
something
to do
godly to prevent Kutztown from scoring
anything
here.
at
They're
all.
in a very favorable position. Could easily make the field goal from where they are right now. Granted, their kicker, like I said, has been a bit
spotty,
finicky, but I mean, even from this position,
I think you or I could make this kick. And 10 seconds left as the boys come out of the timeout.
See what happens here.
As DeGalbo lines up with Scott in the backfield. Scott is to DeGalbo's left. Other than that, they have 4 wideouts. And Millersville brings the blitz. And DeGalbo with the quarterback keeper. And I believe he is in.
No, we got one saying good.
We got one saying good, but
I think they're going to have to talk about this one. They're really going to have to talk this one over. It was a very odd angle.
There's I believe a Marauder down.
Oh, yeah, he's not. He can't. He's trying to get up.
Are they calling that a touchdown? I do not know. I believe they did. However,
I think they're still trying to make their minds up. DeGalpo ran in at a very awkward angle there. He looked as though he had it, and then he was getting closer and closer towards the sideline. I think he tried to dip his hand in past the pylon, but I don't think he was successful. And it also came out at the end, so who knows if that ball was loose. This is going to be a very tough call.
And they're calling it a touchdown. And the score is 25-13 now at halftime.
Did Kutztown already take the extra point? I don't think they did.
No.
Are we waiting for that?
I believe we're waiting for the extra point.
This very.
However, there's no time left on the clock, so
it's a very confusing and odd way to end this first half.
As well as we still have a Marauder down. Now coaches are on the field.
Looks like that's number 23 for the Marauders, Alpha Khan, the cornerback.
No, he's helping up.
Oh, no, that's number
20, PJ Santos.
Oh.
Which he has been a key for the Marauders today.
And the fact that he could possibly be out, that's not good. We hope he's better by halftime.
Well, it is halftime.
He is.
But by the end of halftime.
Yes. Well, he's slowly walking on the field. He got up, it looks like,
very
by his own power,
gingerly.
But he's taking his time here. We'll see. Hopefully we see him in the second half with no problem. But Kutztown now lining up for the extra point.
And I believe they're going for 2 again. DeGalbo in the backfield has Scott to his right. Oh, no, that's Reynolds, and I don't think and he got it.
Yep, he got it.
They ran an option with 2 running backs. They ran option right with 2 running backs, and that's the end of the first half. 27-13 is the halftime score. Ben, what are some keys for Millersville to get back in this game?
What they have to do is they have to sit down, look at themselves and say, we did not play the best half of football in the first half. What they need to do is start playing just clean football. No errors, no mistakes. Make the contact and just hope that the second half goes your way.
We thank you for joining us for the first half, and we'll be back with second half action. welcome back here to Crisp Field at FEMA Sturfer Stadium. Kutztown is set to kick off to start the second half of play. Now, the last few times these teams have played, Kutztown has come out on top, and it's looking like that could possibly happen again. Score is 27-13, and there's the kick. Again, a short one, but Kemp receives it, and I believe will be brought down at about the 26-yard line. But the last 6 times, wow, couldn't talk. But the last 6 times that these teams have met, Kutztown has come out on top. They first played back in 1903, and the last time they met was last year, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the very first game ever, Millersville won 16-0. But the current
Back in the days
record,
of leather heads and no protection whatsoever.
yeah, nothing on their heads at all. The current series sits at 57-29-3. Millersville has 57 wins, and so they're winning the series, so to speak. However, today, Kutztown has been all over them. 14:50 in the third quarter, left in the third quarter, excuse me. Wow. And Page, what is going on here, Ben? I don't know what's going on.
We got something. Apparently, refs are being precise with the clock again.
Clock wasn't right.
God
Should
forbid
be
we lose 6 seconds of the
14:54.
game. That's just going to go down when they're in a huddle. Either way.
14:54 back here. Page in the backfield has a back with him there. And there's,
Misstep
flags
there.
down. Kemp jumped. Page tried to get the defense to jump, and his receiver jumped.
Definitely not how you want to start the second half of this one if you're Millersville, but this is just a repeat of what we've seen all day from the Marauders. Just very sloppy, just very bad football fundamentals.
Yeah, and there's Page. Handoff to Overton. Nope, play action, and that's a Marauder first down.
There you go. Make up for the mistake, get the first down anyway, come out swinging, and catch Kutztown by surprise.
Jordan Boynton with the reception there. Good catch by Boynton. And all right throw by Page. And there's Page again with Overton in the backfield.
Getting some last directions from the coach on the sideline.
And Overton with the carry, loses yards on that one.
Run game has just not been working for Millersville today.
Nothing has worked for Millersville today.
Well, they've had some good passes come through, but when it just comes to just the running has gotten them nowhere. It can only get 2 or 3 yard gains from them. That's it. So let's see what happens here. Another fake, and this is another one behind the line of scrimmage. This is just, it's only getting worse for the Marauders, it seems, as now they stare down 3rd and long in the opening drive of the second half, where you really, really need points. And 3rd and 15 on your own, looks like 33-34.
33. And they have to do something here. Page has to get them going. And 2 backs and Page with the snap. And he's got to get rid of the ball, and he's brought down for a sack by number 85, Chris McMonigal. And again, Page just hangs on to the ball too long. He's so inconsistent. As we've seen all game, he either hangs onto the ball too long or throws it away too early.
I think he's afraid of doing a turnover or something like that. He just seems to be so cautious with the ball when he doesn't need to. At least throw it out to the sideline or something like that. And the return there by Kutztown. Sets them up around 47, 48.
First and 10 for the Kutztown Golden Bears as they lead 27-13 with 12:32 left in the third quarter.
All right. See if Millersville's defense has woken up this half.
And DeGalbo with the pitch to Reynolds. And I believe that
Reynolds
it was
looks like he's hurt.
Dylan Niedbalski on the stop there for Millersville. And now it's 2nd and 5 as Kutztown lines up on the left side of the field as they have just crossed the 50. The ball's on the 48.
Craig Reynolds a little slow to get up after that last play.
And they go to him again, though. And he's brought down eventually somewhere around the 45-yard line. If I had to guess, I'd say about the 46. And it took more than one Marauder defender to bring him down.
That's been the story of this entire game. It seems like the Marauders, when they are one-on-one, just can't make hits. So hopefully the second half, we see some really, packed punches from the Millersville defense and really, push Kutztown back.
3rd and 3 here for Kutztown. DeGalbo with a throw, and
Wide
he is
open.
wide open. And that's a Kutztown touchdown.
And probably the worst way to start this half if you're Millersville. A failed drive and Kutztown burns you.
And we'll give you another look at that one as he was wide open. I could have made that throw, and I've never played quarterback in my life. So that tells you how open he was. Oh, but there's a flag coming back. Ineligible receiver for Kutztown.
That is a gift.
Wow.
Another gift from the referees to Millersville. It's just insane how many second chances, revivals, if you will, that Millersville has gotten just because of penalties that Kutztown have committed.
Yeah, it really is. Now it's 3rd and 8 again for Kutztown. Now, will the Marauders do something different this time, Ben?
I just hope they do something. They seem to got burned on that last play, and now they're stepping back.
And here we go. DeGalbo again, and it's an incomplete pass. That brings up 4th and 8 for the Golden Bears. DeGalbo, we haven't really talked about him much. He's having a very, very consistent game.
He is. He's been making his passes no problem. He's been finding the receivers. He has missed a couple, but not by much. It's he's really been precise on his passes. Has to run when he absolutely has to. So he has had a very good game. He's contributed a lot to Kutztown's success.
And there's the punt. And that's a boomer down the field. And he fair catches it. That's Overton with the fair catch. That's going to pin Millersville deep in their own territory.
No chance for a return on that one. You were only going to get maybe 1 or 2 yards out of that if you ran. So, but Millersville needs to find the spark, light the fire, get something going. Just if they want to stay alive in this game. You're currently down by 2 touchdowns. 1 right now. You've already made 1 defensive stop. You know you can rely on the defense for a couple more. The offense just has to step up.
And 1st and 10 for the Marauders here from the 14. 11:08 left. Page takes the snap, fakes the handoff, play action, and that's a first down for the Marauders.
See, this is the kind of thing that Millersville needed in the first half.
Blake
Trick
Cahill
plays,
with the catch.
simple passes right down the middle is what they needed. Now suddenly you're feeling confident. You can get passes off. You can start getting this offense going, and you're getting first downs with ease. This is something that was neglected throughout the entire first half. Millersville kept trying to run the ball when just there were no options. There were no gaps. There was nothing for them to run. So just simple play action passes. Don't have to throw the bomb downfield the entire time. Just something simple to get them started.
You're absolutely right. And here's a handoff to Overton, who makes it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's just
Oh, excuse me, not Phil Overton that time. That was Sheldon Snell, as Millersville trying to change up the running back between Kemp and Overton. They're trying not to use them all the time. So Snell got the carry on that one.
either way, it hasn't been working for them. You know, they keep trying to send the receiver or the backs, excuse me, up the middle the entire time. They need to start going outside. They have clogged this middle so many times. Some handoffs, some pitches could definitely work for the running backs.
And there goes either Snell or Overton again. I can't get a number on him, but that was 2nd and 9, and now it should bring up 3rd and 4 there. Snell again, excuse me, on the carry there. And it
Need to
is
convert
3rd
right
and 4
here.
on the Millersville 34.
Need to convert.
9:34 left here in the 3rd quarter. Page takes the snap, drops back, and I believe that is caught.
That's a great pass right there. This is the offense that Millersville needed. Confidence.
As he made a beautiful catch on the sidelines there, got both feet in, tucked the ball to his chest, and took the hit that he knew was coming. And now Page under center, handoff.
See, it's not working.
Nope.
Going down the middle is not going to work for the Marauders. They need to start using the width of the field, start sending their running backs outside so they can turn on the afterburners and just fly past the Kutztown defense, instead running right into their defensive line, which has been solid throughout this entire game. It's not going to work.
No, it's really not. You're absolutely right. And I believe that was Kemp on the carry as he lost a few yards there. 2nd and 11. And Page drops back, fakes it to Wiggins, and it goes right through his hands as 2 Kutztown defenders were ready to pounce as soon as he would have caught in that ball.
If Wiggins just had a couple more inches in his legs, he probably could have caught that one, but his 5'9" stature prevented him from getting that high one right there.
Well, Page threw it a little too high. He didn't have to throw it that high. Page had plenty of time. He could have settled that ball down. I'm putting that incompletion on the quarterback.
I think it was a bit of both. I mean, you know, if you had a taller guy, it probably would have been a lot easier, but I wouldn't put it all on the quarterback. It was still a good pass.
And Page drops back, pressure, flag down, and
Millersville hoping for another gift from the referees on this one.
It's probably going to be a holding call.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it is, a holding. And Kutztown just declines the penalty because they know Millersville's going to have to punt. And the holding call was on number 57, Brett Harris.
And if Millersville, if they want to stop wasting downs, they need to change up their run game because they have tried so many inside runs, it hasn't worked.
And there's a high punt.
Caught it around the 24.
And Craig Reynolds with the fair catch there for Kutztown. 7:55 left in the 3rd quarter. So there's still plenty of time for Millersville to claw their way back into this game.
It is, but Millersville, the only person preventing them from getting back in this game is themselves. Kutztown has definitely taken their foot off the gas pedal in this one. They've gone a little bit easy, and just Millersville not taking advantage of the chances they're getting. You know, we saw some great passing play in the first half of that last drive, and then it just all got wasted. Millersville really needs to take advantage of the chances they're getting, especially because their defense has started to really dominate only in this half.
And I believe that's Tommy Holloway on the tackle and DeGalbo on the quarterback keeper. Millersville's running no safeties right now. They have everyone jammed on the line of scrimmage.
It's a big risk considering the last touchdown that Kutztown scored at the beginning of this half was because they had no safeties and they just got burned instantly. You would think that you would think that they'd at least throw somebody back there, but really trying to get into the quarterback's head and make them force a turnover.
And there's the pitch on the option to Reynolds. And flag down, and I think this one's coming back. That should be a Kutztown first down, but I do believe that this one's coming back for a hold.
And then you said, how Millersville is throwing everybody forward, but yet they still get a solid 7 or 8 yard run out of their running back just because there's nobody there to get them. What's the point of sending everyone forward if you can't even catch the guy? Just an observation
Exactly.
by me.
Well, they're sending everyone up the middle of the field, and you can't do that. I mean, you can, but you obviously can do that. However, Millersville isn't leaving enough defenders on the outsides, and that's killing them right now.
Millersville with yet another gift from the referees. Kutztown, really, all these penalties should be shooting themselves in the foot, but it hasn't because
Millersville
just
can't capitalize.
Can't capitalize. Exactly. They have been given freebies here and just can't do anything with it.
And Kutztown on the run again. And that's going to bring up, I believe, a 3rd and 9 for Kutztown Golden Bears. And now they're bringing people into the secondary as they read the pass there. And feeling the pressure,
how do you
DeGalbo gets it out. And wow.
How do you let that happen? 3 guys all around the quarterback, and not one of them can get a hand on DeGalbo. That's just...
You got to give props to DeGalbo, though. I mean...
The fact that he escaped that pressure situation right there and still managed to get a first down out of that.
Yeah,
but
that was impressive.
It's just maddening to watch this Marauder defense get right there and just can't put him down.
And DeGalbo takes the snap, handoff to Reynolds, and he takes off up the middle. Excuse me, that's Darryl Scott. And Kendall Marks is the only Marauder who has a chance, and he takes him down at the 8-yard line, I believe.
Defense has been very up and down this second half. Started off with a great defensive drive, managed to stop Kutztown, and then now you let that run go all the way into the red zone. And if Kutztown converts here, it's well out of reach.
Yeah, if Kutztown puts another touchdown on the board, it could be all but over. And that's a catch, I believe, by number 89, Austin Myers for Kutztown. And so they'll be on, I believe, the 2 or 1 yard line, 2 yard line. So it is second down on the 2 yard line, handoff to Reynolds, and I don't believe he's in. And they say
Kutztown is saying
I
yes,
don't think
but
so.
I think he was down before he reached over reached over the goal line there. Good stop by Millersville. Hopefully they can do it one more time, maybe 2 more times, depending if Kutztown feels like going on it on 4th down. But a very, very important play here.
3rd and 1 on the Millersville 1. DeGalbo with the option to Reynolds, and he's in. They're calling it.
He managed to run in front of the pylon on that one. He was in bounds. And that one makes a very possible game to come back from, now very unlikely to come back from. I've seen my fair share of miracles, but Millersville just doesn't look like they're in it. They look lost. They look helpless. Really haven't seen anything spectacular from them. Just a very poor performance from Millersville.
Yeah, it really is. They're just not putting together games as they have been. And I believe they got the extra point.
Yes, they did.
So now the score is 34-13 with 4:26 left in the third quarter. Millersville's playing like all hope is lost. However, they still have plenty of time. They just have to be consistent on offense.
The consistency has been, it's been very hard to find, if not impossible to find in this game. There are times where we think the offense has finally gotten it started, and then they end up just throwing their plays away. And then the defense, we're like, hey, maybe they can make a stop. They've been looking good, and then they can't even stop basic run plays. So, you're looking at 3 touchdowns, stopping Kutztown from all scoring for a third and a full quarter. Millersville has to turn it around right now, or else it's over.
Yes, if Millersville doesn't do something here, this game, somebody find the fat lady, because it'll be time for her to sing, because this game will be over if they don't convert here. And there's a kick, and it's a high, deep one. And I believe that's Overton on the return. He goes up the middle, and he's brought down at about the 27-yard line.
Good return from him, though. Some good field position considering some of the other kicks that we've seen.
Yeah, it's some all right field position.
Now,
Could be worse.
Yep. If you're Millersville, you are looking to surprise Kutztown. You were trying to catch them off guard, throw something out of the back pages of the playbook, and completely slap Kutztown in the face and wake them up and tell them, hey, we're not done yet.
1st and 10 here for the Marauders. Page puts Kemp in motion to his right on the 28-yard line here with 4:21 left in the third. Page takes the snap, throws it quick to Boynton again, and 2, 3, 4, 5 Kutztown Bears have to be brought in to bring him down.
Boynton has been a very reliable receiver for the quarterback in this one. We've seen a lot of the passes from Millersville get dropped or just not make it to the receiver at all. But when Boynton runs right down the middle and makes it easy for for J.J. Page to just throw it right to him, they seem to connect every time. I'm surprised he's not being used more often in the second half.
As am I. He has some very secure hands. 2nd and 4, Page with the handoff
And
to
there goes
Overton, and wow. That wasn't Overton, excuse me, Kevin Wiggins. They tried to run the jet sweep play there, and Millersville just lost a ton of yards.
Running game is just
Ronnie
not been there for Millersville.
Ronnie Tomasetti with the tackle for Kutztown. It is now, I believe, 3rd and 9 on the 29-yard line. Yes, that's exactly what it is. 3rd and 9 with about 3:10 left to play here. And Page takes a snap, drops back, looking for a receiver, gets pressure, and gets brought down by number 98, Steve Plausis. That's sack number 2 for Plausis.
It's just been a very bad day for J.J. Page. His offensive line can only block for so long before he gets tackled. He can't seem to make any passes downfield. He's had some bright spots, but nothing has been going his way this game.
And Evan Stahl back to punt. A deep punt, and he's going to return it. And he's at the 50. And he is brought down at around the 47-yard line. He took Kutztown into Millersville territory there. And so the boys in black and gold have to come up big here on defense.
A turnover would be the one thing that can save Millersville in this game. A good turnover. We've already seen 1 pick six in this game, and that seemed to really ignite the team, and then it just died away again. But just a big hit, good fumble recovery, or another interception, just something to get Millersville out of this drought.
And again, a very odd move. Nobody in the secondary. And a screen pass. Wow, excuse me. A screen pass is incomplete by DeGalbo.
Good job by number 55 from Millersville there, Tanner Dean, for jumping off his line and going straight for DeGalbo. Pressured him into making that throw right into the ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And another one right
wow.
here. The defense has woken up.
Waugh Jr. tried to get some yards there for Kutztown, but Millersville was having none of it. And that's the Marauder defense that won them their first game and kept them in their second game against Seton Hill for as long as it did.
This is what Millersville finally
1:42 left in the third quarter, but that's the type of defense that Millersville needs to have. And again, and that's wow.
It was knocked down. What a great play there.
Great defense by Millersville there. And now
40,
it's 4th and 13.
Looks like
for Kutztown.
8 there. Brendan Sherman, the defensive back. What a great play there for him to get his hands up, knock that pass down.
Yeah, Brendan Sherman had the pass defense there to take it away from Kellen Williams, who has been putting up big numbers
Williams,
today.
he did get his hands on it. But thankfully Sherman was right there just to bat it away in one of the more important plays of the game.
And it's a fair catch at about the 20-yard line.
All right, now the offense, it's their turn. They've had some bright spots in this game, but now more than ever, something has to be pulled out of the playbook and just completely surprise Kutztown in this one.
I know this will sound crazy, but would you switch quarterbacks right now?
I don't know. I mean,
we've seen Page.
Page has had a difficult time today, but you can change that with a very good drive, a very consistent drive, one where you make good, clean passes down the field. He's trying to approach every drive as if it's a new game. It's a new day. Just forget about the last one. What matters is right now. I got a minute left in the third quarter. I have a whole fourth in front of me. I need to save this team. That's probably what's going through his mind right now.
Well, Page is a redshirt senior, and he drops back now 5 wideouts, and he's going to get sacked for a loss. But as I said, Page is a redshirt senior. The guy you have backing him up, Tony Staffieri, is a redshirt freshman.
It's tough. I don't know if you throw a freshman into a game this close. If it was a complete blowout, then yeah, I'd give the rookie experience. But right now, you need Page to gain his confidence.
Well,
like this right here.
Wow,
there
good
you
throw
go.
to Kemp, and Kemp breaks a tackle before being knocked out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
I think that's going to be enough for. No, they're calling it just short.
They're going to call that what, 3rd and inches? Oh, wow. They spotted him back about a yard. So 3rd and 1 for Millersville on their own 29.
This is it. This is the drive. You need to convert on these chances.
Absolutely. They have to do something. And Page under center with the handoff.
He's got it.
To Overton. And he motors enough for a Millersville first down. 32 seconds left in the third quarter.
See, now Page starting to get in his rhythm, starting to see that his offense is working, starting to see that he's wearing down the Kutztown defense. He's got his confidence up. He's got his blood flowing. He's seeing now that, hey, I actually have a chance now. Things are starting to work. Let's see what I can make with this.
And there's Page dropping back, looking for a receiver across the middle. And I don't know who he was trying to throw to, but he almost threw it right into the hands of a Kutztown defender.
I think you want to try and rifle it right to Wiggins, who was down the middle, but I think with the amount of speed that he put on that, forgot to compensate for the height, and it just simply went over. But yeah, very lucky that Kutztown didn't get their hands on that one.
Well, they got hands on it. They just couldn't keep their hands on it. And Page, again, 2nd and 10, drops back, looking for a receiver, and he's going to be sacked again for a loss. How many sacks is that for Kutztown today?
That's too
What,
many to
6,
count.
7?
Too many to count. It's just been ridiculous. The fact that Page tries to get this ball off. Some of them have been just Page can't get the ball away. Other ones have been the offensive line right there was pretty much non-existent. The fact that the defense was able to get the jump on them so quickly and just completely maul them like it was nothing. In this late of the game, you need the offensive line to do everything they can to stop the defensive line of Kutztown from getting to Page. And that's just something they haven't been able to do the entire game. But if you want to come back from this, you have to protect your quarterback.
Exactly. And we're going to start the fourth quarter here with Millersville down in the game 34-13 to Kutztown. Now, Ben, if you're J.J. Page, you're a redshirt senior, this is your last season of college football, what do you say to get your troops fired up?
I say, guys, we have 15 minutes in front of us. Need to score 3. Our defense is doing everything to save us right now. We have to start returning the favor. Forget about the past 3 quarters. They were nothing. We didn't get anything done those past 3 quarters. 15 minutes, our time to shine. We're at home against our rivals. It's not over yet. They think it's over, but it's not. So, just really, he needs to get everyone centered, all on the same mindset, all on the same wavelength, and just focus on putting 110% effort into getting back into this game.
Well, since you brought up the point about Millersville being at home, they're 18-6-1 since 1968 when they played Kutztown. But I believe that's going to be 18-7-1. Page drops back looking for a receiver. And that's Boynton. And he takes a hard hit.
That's not even close for a first down.
And that was not Boynton, excuse me, Tyler Zyland. And that's going to bring up 4th down for the Marauders. Joey Ruggiero in on the tackle for Kutztown, as it's now 4th and 10 for the Marauders.
And as we switch possession,
Oh, wow,
defense.
high snap, stall.
And
blocked
a blocked
punt.
And
Wow.
bad to worse. That's the summary of this one. Bad to worse. We've already had a couple blocked extra points in this game. And then now someone from Kutztown got a hand on that punt and just gave them very, very good field position. And like I said, the defense for Millersville, you got to come up with turnovers now if you even want to think about going back into this game.
Yeah, that was just a bad snap. And Evan Stahl did all he could to get the ball off, but Kutztown just got enough of a hand on it. And it's going to cost the Marauders as Kutztown is now on the 42. 1st and 10 to Galbo. Hand off to Waugh Jr., and he's brought down almost immediately, and maybe a yard. Sean Dugan in on the tackle for the Marauders, as there's 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 14 minutes left to play here at Beamer-Sturfer Stadium here in Millersville, PA. 2nd and 9 for the Golden Bears, as DeGalbo lines up with split backs. Millersville still has nobody playing safety, so to speak. They have everybody up on the line, and handoff again as Kutztown appears to just be running out the clock. And 13:20 left, 3rd and 8 for Kutztown as the clock keeps running.
That's pretty much all Kutztown has to do is just sit, watch this one dwindle down. You're in no rush to get any points. You got 3 touchdowns as a lead. You know the Millersville offense has been lackluster in this one. You really have no worries.
Unless Millersville can pull off one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen and come back from this, which it appears that, wow, Kutztown just picked up another first down on a 3rd and 8 pass play that should have been, going into like a 4th and 2 situation. But again, the Marauders could not make the tackle. And now we're down to a new set of downs for Kutztown, and they are on the Marauder, I believe, 24-yard line. And
I'm
that's
really
exactly
seeing
what
no
it is.
motivation whatsoever from the Marauders at this point. I think they have it in their minds that this game is over, and they're really not making an effort.
And there
Just
goes
stop-
Daryl Scott. to
Stop
the
Kutztown from running over them.
Kendall Marks with another tackle. He's one of the few Marauders who is having a good game, but one player can't make enough of a difference at this point in the game to help you come back.
Not even in the beginning of the game. I mean, a lot of the star players that we talked about today have just been non-existent. I mean, Kevin Wiggins, we maybe saw him make a couple catches, but nothing spectacular that we're used to from him. I mean, whenever you tried to run
Second
the ball
and
with
10
him,
here. Hand off to Wah Jr. Sorry to cut you off, Ben. And
it's all right.
Wah
Wiggins,
Jr.
you know,
only
when they
gets
tried to
a
run the
yard or
ball
two.
with him, whenever they try to pass to him, he just hasn't gotten anything done. And then, you know, you have J.J. Page, who he's a redshirted senior quarterback, spent, 5 years with this team and playing out there like he's a scared rookie straight out of the draft. It's just, nobody has really been that star player from Millersville today.
No. And DeGalbo drops back and fires a strike to Kellen Williams. He is one of many Kutztown Bear players who is lighting up the scoreboard for them. Williams and DeGalbo have hooked up a bunch of times, but there's a flag down, and it's going against Kutztown. So this one's coming back. Holding called on the Golden Bears. And it's going to be, I believe, 3rd and 21 with 11:22 left here in the fourth quarter. And that's exactly what it is. Ball on the 35-yard line, 3rd and 21, 11:19 left in the fourth quarter. And DeGalbo
Hoping for a stop here.
and throws it. And I believe he's in bounds.
Secondary has been non-existent for Millersville.
Nathan Hollander on the
DeGalbo
catch.
has been making passes like it is nothing. Like, he is just left, right, straight down the middle. Wherever DeGalbo passes, 9 times out of 10, someone from Kutztown is going to catch it, just because the secondary for Millersville has been poor.
Yeah. And they stop him in the backfield on the carry there by Wah Jr. And DeGalbo, I wouldn't say is the best quarterback around, but by no means is he the worst. He's definitely a very, very good quarterback.
He has proven himself in this game.
Oh, yes.
He really has just been firing. He hasn't let it, he shook off that interception earlier, that pick 6. He really has just shown that nothing's going to face him no matter how many times he's sacked, no matter what happens to him. He's still completing passes. He's still getting them downfield. He's winning. He really has won this game.
Williams again, and no dice that time.
He's one of the biggest factors in how Kutztown has manhandled the Marauders so far.
DeGalbo wasn't supposed to be the starter for this Kutztown offense. Terrence Scanlon was supposed to be the starter. And as I'm reading up on a few weeks ago, last week, DeGalbo entered at halftime when Kutztown was down, and he led them on an almost comeback. And so they decided to start him today, and I believe that's going to be a Kutztown Bears touchdown with a great throw, and that's exactly what it is. Great throw by DeGalbo.
That's the knife in the coffin for this one.
And Kendall Marks just couldn't do anything to defend that pass. Hollander, again, another name we have been talking about all day. Nathan Hollander with another touchdown reception.
And for Kutztown with their quarterback situation, when you start 0-3, you look for any option really you can to somehow fire up your team. And you said, how DeGalbo comes in at halftime and nearly takes them back from the deficit that they were at and, at least got them ignited. It's, he has done phenomenal today. You would have thought Kutztown was a 3-1 team or a 2-0 team coming into this game just because of the way they've been playing. And DeGalpo, again, a really big factor of that. So if we see Kutztown end up having a great season this year, I say you put all your chips on DeGalpo. And he has just led this Kutztown team, as most likely earned them their first win of the season, and maybe he'll have many more.
Well, with 9:49 here left in the fourth quarter, Kutztown is now up 41-13. I think it's safe to say this one is going to be an open and closed case.
Yep.
This one's just over at this point. These 9:49 left are basically just a formality at this point, as Kutztown is, unless it's the biggest collapse in the history of sports, Kutztown's going to win this game.
And Millersville really needs to take a hard look at themselves in the mirror after this one. You have an 0-3 team come into your stadium, your territory, and you let them walk all over you like this.
And not just beat you, but beat you to the point where people are leaving the stadium. And Overton on the kickoff return, and he cuts back to the middle. Still going. He's at the 50, 45. And I believe he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Wow.
Unless you can repeat that 5 more times, you're really not going to see.
Who knows? Maybe Overton has had enough of this.
If only the whole team could behave that way, it'd be a much different story. But as I was saying, Millersville, an 0-3 team comes into your home stadium during a rivalry game and just walks all over you like this. You really got to take a hard look in the mirror and just say, something needs to change. We need to do something, because whatever we are using right now, it's not
Page
working
with
for
the
us.
quick slot pass to Wiggins, who picks up a bunch of yards and takes the Marauders down to the 20. This is the Millersville offense that won them their first game against Pace University in the very first week of the season.
It's a shame it's just taking them so long to show up, honestly.
I mean, they still have 9:34 left, and there's a glimmer of hope left now. But at this point, it might be too little too late. But now it's another Millersville 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. And Page drops back, rolling to his right, throws it, and that's going to be caught, I believe.
Nope.
Nope.
He didn't have his feet in bounds. He had to jump for that one. He had to jump for that one in the Kutztown.
Zach Slonek. And
Kutztown defender had to come in there, and good timing for him to hit him while number 87 there, Zach Slonek, went up to get that ball. His feet left the ground. If he kept his feet planted, then it sure enough would have been a catch. But because his feet went up and because he got knocked out of bounds, it was just a incomplete pass.
That was a very good catch, though, by Slonek. And now it's 2nd and 10 from the Kutztown 18. Page fakes the handoff, play action pass. Oh, nope, he did give him the handoff. Wow, sold it so good that even I bought it. Sheldon Snell on the carry. And I don't think he got any yards on that one. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Marauders. And all that momentum they seem to be gaining, you could feel it, and now it's gone.
That's just been the story of this game. And the short moments that we had of where we thought they were going to do something, they ended up just wasting away their chances. You had an incomplete pass on the sideline, a run that got you nothing.
And quick pass to Wiggins, who jukes one defender, breaks a tackle, and gets brought down and around the 10-yard line. So I don't think this one will be enough, and I believe that's going to be a 4th down, and that's exactly what it will be. It'll be a 4th and 4 for Millersville, and
they're going for it.
I believe they're going for it.
I don't think Wiggins was expecting that pass, honestly. I thought, that defender was really close to him, but then when he got it, an amazing move by him. At least his He's
5
finally done
wideouts
something
now.
this game.
5 wideouts now for the Marauders. Nobody in the backfield. Page drops back, looking for a receiver, throws across the middle, and it's caught, and now they're inside the 5-yard line.
And
Blake Cahill on the catch there across the middle.
fighting till the end here.
If
Just got themselves a new
anything,
set of downs.
the Marauders need to look across the middle more because the few times that they've had completions, it's been there. 7:40 left here, and Page again, 5 wideouts, and wow.
I mean, Wiggins is a great receiver, but there's no way he's making that catch.
Not with the defender all over him like that. There was absolutely no way anybody could have made that catch. I don't care if you're Larry Fitzgerald, Odell Beckham Jr., Victor Cruz, whoever you want to say. The way that defender was all over him, he couldn't have caught that ball.
Nope. But thankfully they earned themselves a new set of downs, so you have some options to try and punch it in here, but 7.5.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line now with 7:35 left in the 4th quarter. And Page has Overton to his right. Takes the snap. Overton. Wow.
Oh,
And
a
there's the flag. I believe they got Kutztown there for a face mask or something.
I don't know how you don't throw to Overton there. Overton seemed to be going
Overton
wide
was
open.
wide
Those-
open. Why he didn't
wide.
look to Overton? I mean, poor Wiggins was double covered at that point.
And they just earned themselves even more chances.
Number 36, at the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Earned
And
yourself a
Ahi
yard and
Cox
another.
Cohen is who the penalty's on for Kutztown. So now it's going to be first and goal from the 1-yard line. So now all Millersville has to do is punch the ball in, and that's what they're going to do. Send out the jumbo package and try and punch it in. And there it is. No,
Yeah,
fumble.
No, he got
Fumbled.
stopped.
He fumbled the ball.
Hard to see from up here, but ball definitely did not make it across the goal line.
No,
and
it did not.
something might have happened there.
Both teams think they have it.
Referee's going to have to unearth this one, see what happens.
And I believe it's going to stay with Millersville.
Very.
Very lucky there by the Marauders. But I believe that was the fullback when he came around to block for Overton. 'Cause I
It seemed
believe
like
there-
it was an early handoff, too. It looked like
Oh, yeah. Page gave that ball off way too early.
now they just set themselves back to the 4.
Now it's 2nd and 4. On the 4, Page drops back, throws quick across the middle, and that's a touchdown.
have
but
a
this
flag.
one could be coming back. There's a flag.
We'll see what happens here.
And I believe that was Blake Cahill on the touchdown. But this one has the potential to come back. Probably will. Pass interference on the offense.
Ugh, 15 yards. That's got to
So
hurt.
this one's coming way back. Now they'll be on their own 19. I don't know where the offensive pass interference call came from. However, referee's decision is final. So
Referee was standing right under the goalpost on that one. Seemed to throw it as Overton came up with that catch. And I didn't see anything personally. I mean, the refs have a better vantage point than us. They stand on the field, you know. They keep their eyes wide open, but from up here, I didn't see anything. Oh, Wiggins.
and
Oh!
wow.
That was almost caught up by Wiggins, but
Kevin Wiggins,
some
the
great
intended
pass defense
receiver
there
on
by
that one.
Kutztown.
He may not be the biggest receiver, but he has hands, and he
does.
is so quick.
He really is, and you know it's a shame that we haven't seen more of him in this game because once he gets hot, he can be a lethal weapon for any team. But just the way he fits into this Millersville offense is, you know, he can run, can receive. He has obviously the skill moves we saw with that amazing juke earlier. It's just a shame that we haven't really seen that much of the Millersville offense today. They've just been quiet.
And Wiggins is a junior. Page drops back, looking for Wiggins again, and he completely overthrows him. I mean, I don't know who Page was thrown to. I mean, obviously it was Wiggins, but
Just out of reach. He
the,
just Page has not really been able to gauge his downfield passes. He can shoot the line drive straight up the middle, no problem, because the guys are wide open. But when it comes to lobbing it into the end zone or lobbing it downfield to get a surmountable amount of yards, it just hasn't worked for him. He just can't get the timing down right. The first one almost went to Wiggins, but it was a bit early, and then now this one was a bit too far away from him. So Page just really hasn't been able to get his timing down this time around.
4th and 17, and the Marauders are going to go for it here from their own 17-yard line. Page drops back, feels some pressure, rolls to his
Drew
right.
off that defender.
Feels more pressure, and he's going to be sacked. That's a turnover
That
on
was
downs.
all J.J. Page's fault right there. Just did not manage to shake off the one Kutztown defender that was holding on to his arm, but after that, he was in no man's land. And
Page had plenty of time. You cannot fault the offensive
just
line.
one of the many times where J.J. Page just has to get rid of the ball. Just
Yes.
throw it away, or at least try to get it to one of your receivers, especially in this late of the game. But it's all over now.
Yeah, Page definitely has to do a better job of getting rid of the ball because that is killing this Marauder offense.
So definitely something to work on as they prepare for Bloomsburg away next week, October the 1st. A lot of things to work on when you're Millersville. Hope to rebound from that awful 61-0 shutout against California. Come back home, have a rivalry game against a team that's 0-3, and then this is the performance that you put out on the field. I wouldn't be happy if I was the Millersville coach.
No, if I'm Coach Breitbach, I am furious right now. There's a few players who are playing very good, but the majority of the team is not playing the type of football that I know Coach Breitbach wants them to play. There's 6:08 left here. Kutztown has the 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. And I believe they're just going to run the clock out again. And there it is, the handoff.
And he still
to
manages to
Reynolds,
get through.
and he picks up a 15-yard gain?
15 or 20, yeah, something around there.
And that was Waugh Jr., excuse me, not Reynolds. But
just the fact that Kutztown has been able to literally throw the running back into all sorts of contact and they just shoot out like there's nothing there. It's almost like there's just a tunnel for him every time. It's a shame that the Millersville defensive line, they have come up and they have sacked DeGalbo a couple times, but when it comes to the run game, they just can't do anything to stop the Kutztown running backs.
no, they really can't. And it's killing them. And handoff again. And that time, very few yards picked up. I believe that was Waugh Jr. Oh, nope, excuse me. That was Darryl Scott. They keep changing the running backs on me. And
No
so
matter
now
who it is, they just they just run through the defense every
Yep,
time. So
right up the middle, every
if
single time.
If your seniors can do it and your freshmen can do it, everybody gets a chance to play
Now
today.
there's under 5 minutes to play here. 4:55 left. 2nd and 8 for Kutztown. Ball on the 46-yard line. 41-13, Kutztown leads. And DeGalbo, handoff to Waugh Jr. He's around the outside there. Kendall Marks with a Tommy Holloway breaks. Wow. Waugh Jr. is finally pushed out of bounds.
Oh, we got some pushing and shoving here. I'd be frustrated too. I don't blame him.
I don't know what that was about, but
It looks like number
56 for Millersville. That's Dylan Needbalski. He is not happy at all. 59. Excuse
Cameron
me. Cameron Boykin. Ah. Cameron Boykin came off the field, and he is not happy. I don't know what happened, but he was not happy after that play. And
That
he's
just
going to
sums
take
up
a seat
how-
on the bench to cool off a little bit.
Goes by the offense. Holding. That's 8. Red card will be enforced. After the play was over, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Offense, number
So all those penalties ends up going in Millersville's favor. Not that it means much at this point in the game, but
Wow. 2 penalties for Kutztown. And
just right there, just sums up how Millersville feels about this game. Just frustrated, angry with themselves. Could have come out and done so much better, but wasted away. So many chances. Neither side showed up to play today.
no, they really didn't. I mean, you have a select few that did, but
Wasn't enough to really make a difference.
now that the referee called the foul for unnecessary roughness on Kutztown, I believe that's why Boykin was so upset. He was protecting his teammate, so I believe that's why he was so angry. And now DeGalbo lines up with split backs at 2nd and 34 on Kutztown's 28-yard line, hand off to Daryl Scott, and wow, takes 4 Marauders to bring him down, and he got hit hard by Kendall Marks, but
Shook
he
it
kept
off
on
like
trucking.
it was nothing. Just absolutely ate the hit and actually carried the guy with him. Got at least a couple more yards just from that push.
You got to take your hats off to these Kutztown running backs. I mean, they can take an absurd amount of contact and still keep going.
And that's really just because defensive line from Millersville is just either let them run up or they can only get a piece of them. And it's not like they're pulling out all the tricks to, shake these guys off. It's just the fact that they are running so fast and so hard that nobody from Millersville can catch up.
And a handoff again. And this time, I believe, maybe gets a few yards there. Brandon Lopez coming up on the stop there for the Marauders. And that'll bring up 4th and 23 for Kutztown with under 3 minutes to play. So, I mean, it's 41-13. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that this one is going to go down in the record books as a win for Kutztown. 2:40 left now as they're just trying to eat the clock there. And deep punt by Overton, who calls for a fair catch. Fair catch made at about the 27-yard line. Oh, no, they're going to spot him at the 29, I believe. Or where are they spotting him? Yep, the 29-yard line. No, 28. They keep moving the ball back and forth. So they're going to spot him at the 28-yard line.
And Millersville, what you're just trying to do now is just get off the field, go home, and think about what happened today, because it seemed as if nothing worked for them. No, run game was non-existent.
Page
Passing,
drops back, makes a completion to Christian Kemp.
Passing had some great moments in the game, but nothing worth writing home about. Just a very poor performance from Millersville.
Yeah, it really was.
You just hope that something changes before they head off to Bloomsburg next week, and hopefully they can turn something around. Just because whatever they have been doing for the past 3 weeks has not been working for them.
No, it really hasn't. And Page takes the snap, drops back, hits Overton. Overton again coming up for the Marauders there. He's one of the few that has had a very good game.
Yeah, Overton has really tried to get himself open. He's really, given J.J. Page an option whenever he's passing. In the end, it's really not going to mean anything, at least in this one.
And Page makes another completion to Overton as he swung around there on the little halfback cutback route there. And Overton picks up the first down for the Marauders.
The fact
with
that J.J. Page
left
has just found his hot receiver this game, and it is a minute 30 left in the fourth quarter, it's
Page drops back,
pitiful.
Hits Christian Kemp down the sideline, and he runs out of bounds at about the 40. at about the 43, I believe. And that'll stop the clock as Kemp ran out of bounds with 1:23 left, trying to save Coach Breitbach's timeouts. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Marauders on their own 43. 1:23 here left to play. Page takes a snap, drops back, looking for a receiver, and hits Wiggins, and he stays in bounds. Wiggins cuts across the middle and gets to about the 22 before he gets hammered.
Great read by Wiggins there to see the gap. Had about 3 Kutztown defenders on his tail and managed to break away and earn himself a couple more yards out of that one.
Yeah, good little cut move by Wiggins there as the referees can't figure out where to place the ball, and now they're going to place it on the 24 snap, and there goes Page dropping back, hits Overton again, who cuts back, makes one miss, and gets to the 15-yard line. Wow.
I think this is just Kutztown just shutting down, just being like, there's no real reason to put any effort into this one. You know, they're not, Kutztown's not the kind of team that's going to, you know, run up the score. They're just going to sit
Page
back, you know,
drops
do
back,
what they can
scrambles, and gets hit, but I think it's going to be enough to make it a Millersville first down. And it is. Corey Tomasetti on the tackle. 35 seconds left to play here. Page takes the snap. Wow. An amazing catch by Overton, but I don't think Page saw Blake Cahill on the other side of the field standing there.
Page has really had
on
tunnel
the
vision this
3-yard
entire
line,
game. He's really
wide open.
He's only been able to see one receiver at a time, which as a quarterback, you have to be able to keep your options open, which just
And if
have
I'm
not
Coach
been.
Breitbach, and that's 1 second
Stopped
left.
at 1. Kutztown thought they had this one over, but clock stops at 1.
I believe there was a timeout. Timeout Millersville. And there's going to be 3 seconds left here.
And this is just to make it look a little bit better on the score line, but really,
And I think Kutztown's going to let them have the touchdown or field goal, whatever Coach Breitbach elects to try for. But it's basically to make people think, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
But in
it's-
reality, this
it
is
was.
one of the worst Millersville performances
Well,
that I've seen.
It just seemed like nothing worked for him. There are some days where everything just feels good. Everything's working. Your run game is doing phenomenal, gaining, 10, 12, 15 yards of play. Your passes are great, but it was just the complete opposite for Millersville today. Just they couldn't find anything to work with, and Kutztown took great advantage of that.
Look, I completely understand that as a former athlete. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to have good days and bad days, and today the entire team just had a bad day. Page drops back, looks for Wiggins, and it's going to be knocked down, but there was 1 second left on the clock, and I don't think they're putting it back. So that's going to be
it. Ain't worth it. It ain't worth
Thank
it.
you for joining us. Final score in this one, 41-13. Millersville just got beat. Kutztown won 41-13 here at Beamer-Sturfer Stadium. The teams are shaking hands. And we just want to thank you for joining us. For myself and my colleague, Ben, have a good night. Be safe. If you're not at home, be safe getting home. And thank you for joining us yet again.